Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to do a segment on that my friend came up with on the some wacky basketball teams that have had some wacky players or situations uh, in NBA and basketball history. So I'll start by saying here's some examples of them. And for the first one, we have the Boston Celtics. So I start by saying on this one, let's see here. We got Shaq. Where the fuck is he? What the hell is that on the court? Oh no. Holy shit. I didn't know they were wheeling in the largest basketball corpse at the end of a terrific, gone horrific basketball career. I mean, he got carted out of the hearse and straight into the Boston Garden. Oh, and his first words spoken were, I now pronounce your NBA career dead. I think laying, not playing in the Boston Garden was Shaq's purgatory. Ouch. Either way, it hurt me more to watch him than his arthritic toe did to himself. Why? Why? Not my Shaqy! Hey, Celtic fans, remember that season when Red Auerbach, the Celtics' greatest coach of all time, died right before the season began? Well, the Celtics dedicated the season to him, and then they finished it with only 17 wins. Now that's committed to losing. Red died just in time, and it didn't matter, because watching that season would have killed him anyway. Poor old Red must have rolled over in his grave after that pathetic display of insulting dedication. He then lit up a cigar, only to die again, of a combination of smoke inhalation and more losing seasons that immediately followed. At least they won one title in 2008, and then came close again in 2009, only to have Garnett wheeled out of town as well, to the Nets. Pierce followed soon after. Allen got smart and went to Miami to play with LeBron James with the Heat, where all he had to do was stand there and bury threes. But I guess it's better than joining Kevin and Paul and burying his chances of winning with three old-timers together during Garnett's purgatory. Tommy Heinsohn and Mike Gorman are two of the greatest game callers in my eyes. Hey, Tommy, we know you love Walter, but I love winning much more. And for that, let's get some All-Stars, because they're the only thing that wins NBA championships. And I'm pretty sure that deserves a Tommy point, dude. So next, on our basketball wacky teams and players, we have the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls. The Bulls. Michael, I think you finally realized basketball was the only sport for you to play. And as for your teammate, Mr. Rodman, holy shit. He was like a rebounding machine that was never off drugs. For example, he was announcing his new bride-to-be on the David Letterman show. Then when the new bride-to-be came out and lifted the veil, it was himself. Now that's a man on some serious shit, dudes. So Dennis, you're telling us you want to marry yourself? Maybe that gave Caitlyn, an idea. Wow, you're fucking weird, bro. I mean, Mr. Rodman trotted down the court like a deer. But his brain was gutted like one as well. A long time ago. Oh my god. All I can say is, beam me up, Scotty. And speaking of Scotty, he was a great player, but the first thing that sticks out in my head about him was that nose. It was also the first thing that stuck out in his head as well. Pippen ain't easy, according to Jay-Z and the Chicago Tribune. And as for all those whiteys on the team, well, they were good for three-pointers. And Yeah, just the wide open threes created by Michael, Scotty, and Dennis, and the rest of the non-white guys on the team. And then years later, Yakeem Noah busted out on the Chicago scene, only to find out that championships are much tougher to win without his airness. Looks like it's time to build an ark, Noah, because there's a lot of fan hate mail flooding in about the 0 titles that you've won since being in Chicago. Now that's not a lot of bullshit. Next, we have the Detroit Pistons. Another Rodman team. Holy shit again. But before him, when I was like 10 or 12 or so, I saw something I'll never forget. They were the bad boys. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do when they come for you? Sort of like I was when I was a kid. Joe Dumars, Kurt Rambis, and Isaiah Thomas, who by the way had no relation to the current Celtic point guard, though he's pretty awesome too, and Dennis Rodman. But back to the Piston days of winning. They would simply beat up teams and dunk down their fucking throats, man. While the other team was in the locker room, nursing their injuries, they were like, bring on the next gang to beat up. I don't know about you guys, but you try bringing a basketball to a fist fight against them. First they'd take a bite out of your ball, followed by a bite out of you. You could say they were a little too hungry for a championship. Talk about taking the air out of a team's ball. Ask Tom Brady where he got the deflation technique down. Ouch. And add in Detroit's assault and battery, and all I can come up with is, tell it to the judge, bro. Tell it to the judge, my friends. And next we have the Los Angeles Lakers. I hate them. But anyway, back to this one. Even though I hate them, there's still a little bit to talk about with them. So, the giant genie is the first thing that comes to mind. I'm not getting in his way to the bucket, and nobody else want to do either. So then, you have to ask yourself one question. What do I do about it? I suppose I would go to the genie first and say, pardon me, Shazam O'Neal. Could I ask you for 3 wishes? And an NBA player's first wish was, how can I find a way to defend you without getting hurt on the court? The second wish was, I'd like to win a title, man, so can I have one of your rings? And the third and final wish was, can I have a magic carpet like yours so I can so I can ride on it instead of a wheelchair after playing against you for too many seasons? This way I can avoid those nasty stares when I'm chairbound. P.S. I'm sneaking in one more wish because you had such a huge size advantage over all of us. Can we eliminate 7-foot, some odd inch, 300-pound giants from the sport to give the rest of us a chance? And as for Kobe Bryant, shit. Where do I begin, man? Cheater! That about sums him up. I mean, his wife's first response was, this diamond ring doesn't shine for me anymore. And then he went out and got her a super blinger. Something like a 5-carat shiner. But that move helped him avoid a wife-inflicted one on himself as well. He had a little change in his pocket going jang-a-ling-a-ling. And a few $1 million later, that took care of that little whoopsie-daisy. Great athlete, though. Even though I hated him being a Celtic fan and all, the problem lies with all those off-court performances in the sack. He'll have to keep playing a ball a long time to lay parallel to all his wife's expensive penances. That broad, a.k.a. prostitute, was a mighty costly one, Mr. Bryant, wasn't she? And so was that one, and that one, etc., etc. It's a good thing that... Oh, shit. To be continued on the next part. My computer's restarting.